So, Sarah, you've worked at a lot of interesting companies, obviously Apple, Facebook, others. You're now a partner at a VC firm based out of New York. And I'm really excited to get your insight on what we need to do to establish more women as business leaders and how they can navigate starting a business, most importantly, getting investing and funding. We've seen the stats. Newsweek did a report in April that said women, if you have a woman as your co-founder, you're 18% less likely to get funding. So there's certainly a lot of issues around finding funding. And we're going to have a talk even later on today that digs even deeper into that. But with Sarah, because she's a partner, because she's making investment decisions, it's really great to have her give us that insight look at, okay, here are the stats, and here's how you're going to navigate and have success. So why don't you share with us some of the statistics?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the biggest thing to kind of take away from what I'm talking about is not so much being a business leader writ large. It's really about, if you want to be in that founder's seat when you're starting a company, 5%, only 5% of startups are VC backed, some of the things she was talking about, so the outlook is not great, and there are a lot of things you can do. You have to kind of assume that you're not going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg and that you're going to have, hack something together in your dorm room and get a little bit of traction and Sean Parker's going to swoop in and take care of it for you. You're probably going to need to really have a metrics-driven business, right? What's the total market size? And it better be a total market size with like multiple billions in it. How do you acquire customers? What are the metrics that mean success? How are you going to be able to get a return for your investors? What are the margins on the type of thing that you want to build? Really think about it from kind of a clinical P&L standpoint, less so than, hey, I'm going to build something and they will come and then it'll be the next Snapchat.
So in order to get there, right, so some people may be like, got it, done, ready to go. But if you don't know how to answer those questions, can you talk to us a little bit about the importance of advisors and how you form that?
So get advisors. Once you figure out what you're doing, and the best, don't use your advisors to figure out what you're doing. I have a bunch of companies I advise, and they get very not happy emails from me anytime they ask me something they can Google, right? Hey, what's the market size for this? Hey, let me Google that for you. I'll literally send that URL back to people. So spend some time getting smart, right? Who here is on Twitter? Okay, everybody's hand should be up. So, get on Twitter and start following people. Read Business Insider, read TechCrunch, read VentureBeat, read Recode, and then also read things in your specific industry, if it's, fintech or retail or whatever. So get really smart first about what you want to do and really understand, go buy a textbook if you need to, right? Really understand the subject, the area that you want to dive into. And then once you sort of have what you want to do and it could theoretically make sense financially, go find advisors. It's really easy to get advisors, particularly in your subject matter. So if you want to start a, Uber for drag queens, which is actually a thing in San Francisco, you can, I'm not sure about the total market size, but you can go find somebody, right, who is a huge expert in Uber. Go find somebody who used to be at Uber. You can search on LinkedIn. And so go approach several somebodies and ask them to help you and mentor you and teach you what you don't know about a market.
So, okay, I've got my advisors, I've figured out my market cap, I feel like I'm ready. Talk to us a little bit about the importance of MVP. Obviously, Sarah Milstein was just on stage, that iterative process.
Yeah, get a product. And I don't care how you do it. The first thing I ever built, I went on Hacker News, found some guys in Croatia who seemed like they needed money quickly, and they randomly turned out to be great devs. I just wired them $1,000 and they built something for me in a week. So that could have gone badly, I guess, but didn't. So, but it's whatever, right? Just go build something, go figure out how to build it, figure out how to mock it up. If you can't figure out how to, screenshot and put together a WordPress site or a Wix site, that stuff is kind of block and tackle, right? And you put that together and then get it in front of users. Tim Ferriss has a lot of great hacks about this. Obviously, Sarah, kind of lean development, but figure out how to get some facsimile of a product together to prove that there's some sort of demand for what you're building.
So, okay. Now I realize that I shouldn't hold myself back. I just need to start, essentially, right? The MVP, and then you learn as you go. So I've done that. Now how am I going to get acceleration? What are the tips for?
I mean, the biggest thing that I think people overlook is applying to every accelerator and incubator ever, right? It's like when you apply to college and you're like, I'm going to go to Berkeley. Like, cool, go apply to UC Riverside or whatever. You know, you have to hedge your bets. And I think that, you know, apply to Y Combinator, apply to Techstars, apply to 500 startups, but also apply to, you know, go to, I think it's like f6s.com, and it just lists a bunch of incubators and accelerators, and AngelList does as well. Apply to at least, you know, 10, 20 of them, and get in, because all money is green, right? If you can self-fund yourself, then you don't need me, you don't need this conference, and we would like you to be an underwriter for next year's. Generally, that's not what's gonna happen. You're gonna need outside money and outside help, and one of the easiest, lowest hanging places to get it are the accelerators and incubators.
Isn't she amazing? She's like so clear and she's talking so fast. It's amazing. So, okay, I figured out now how to, basically it's a numbers game, right? I got to money ball it. I need to just have as many things going at once. Talk to us about how you get good.
Yeah, I mean, to get good, you need to be good at pitching, right? So get on Twitter, get active on Twitter, be active on Medium, AngelList, all of those things, so people can kind of see you and discover you, and you're constantly interacting with the people you want to pitch. But then another huge part of it is just actually getting good at it. So don't undersell, right? Go watch every presentation from TechCrunch, Disrupt, and Launch, and you see all these like white guys with like the Stanford, like with like that side part hair, you know, and they do the thing, and but you know, they all pitch in a similar way, right? One more thing, and go learn how to do that, right? And get good at selling your vision, get good at selling the big numbers. There's a lot of talk about when women pitch, they sell the steak, not the sizzle. You know, sell the sizzle, right? Say, hey, look, here's what this looks like at scale if everything goes perfect and I win the lottery and lose 5 pounds. And also, you know, here is the total market size, plus it's gonna grow, and be really optimistic, right? Your imposter syndrome has no place in a pitch room. If you look at me and don't know what you're talking about, I can't help you.
That's great. So, believe it or not, we are actually at 7 minutes. Sarah, how do people connect with you? I mean, you're someone who's fierce. I see you on Twitter. You're constantly engaging with people. What's the best ways for those of you who
talk to people on Twitter and like have something to say? I got a DM the other day that was like, thanks for following me. My product's going to be ready to show you soon. I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what your product is, and I don't know why I just had to open this DM. You know, so just engage with people. There's been a lot of great posts lately. Sign up for things like Mattermark. They have a good daily newsletter, but there's been a lot of good posts lately about how to kind of casually engage via social media with people you want to meet. Twitter is the easiest way. LinkedIn is the worst way. You can email me. My email address is in my Twitter profile. I never carry business cards because I'm terrible. But if you email me, like have something point, like have a point.
Don't ask you a Google question.
Don't ask me a Google question. If you just want to be like, oh my God, I think you're so cool. Like I like that. My ego does. But just put it on Twitter, then I can retweet it. So, you know, just have something to say.
Let's give a hand to Sarah. She is